Alright, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks. They're heading to the NBA Finals, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about recap Game 5 a little bit more, talk about the Dallas Mavericks in general here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Look to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So let's start quickly, do a little recap of Game 5 because it wasn't really that, exciting, entertaining. Except for, well, the Mavericks were. The Timberwolves weren't. Luka came out in the first quarter and put up 20 points. 8 for 11 shooting. He had 4 3-pointers. And yeah, that really just kind of set the tone, right? He came out and set the tone for the Mavericks and saying, hey, we're ending this right now. We're ending this tonight, right here, right now. They shot 61% from the field in the first quarter, 4 for 7 from 3. They dominated on the glass 16-11. And yeah, Minnesota shot 30% from the field, 8 for 26 from 3. They were 1 for 5, or 8 for 26 in the field, 1 for 5 from 3. And they're running their offense through Rudy Gobert in the first quarter. He had 7 shot attempts, and there's 3 for 7. And honestly, I said, if I'm Dallas, if they want to run their offense through Rudy Gobert, cool. Go ahead. Do it. In the second quarter, Kyrie starts getting going. Kyrie has 15 in the second quarter. On 5 for 5 shooting, Dallas shoots again 61% from the field. They shoot 5 for 8 from 3. Washington hits a 3. Derek Jones hits a 3. Kleba hits a 3. Luka still does his thing. And Minnesota still just cannot find the basket. They shoot 7 for 18 in the second quarter, 39%. They shot 1 for 7, 14% from 3. And Dallas had a 29-point lead at halftime. And at that point, it was kind of like, all right, like this is pretty much over, right? Luka and Kyrie combined for 44 points in the first half, while Minnesota had 40 as a team. And that pretty much was the rest of the game. Dallas wins 124-103. Luka and Kyrie both have 36 points. Luka 36, 10, and 5. Kyrie 36, 4, and 5 with no turnovers. Both shot really well. Kyrie was 14 for 27. Luka 14 for 22. 4 for 10 from 3 for Kyrie, 6 for 10 for 3 from Luka. Both those guys are just absolutely amazing. PJ Washington had 12 points and 7 rebounds. Gabbard had a really nice game, 11 and 9. He puts a plus 26 in this game. Dallas as a team shot 54% from the field, 44% from 3, 15 for 34. Won the rebounding battle 45-41 as well. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards 28, 9, and 6 out 10 for 18. Cat 9 for 20, 28 points and 12 rebounds. But after that, the team shot 31% from 3, 10 for 32. Yeah, just Minnesota just did not have the intensity. Didn't have the intensity. They didn't really start playing until like halfway through the third quarter. They were already down 30. And then they started hitting some shots. But Dallas just came out and really was aggressive early and set the tone, kind of saying like, hey, we're winning this game right now. We're not even getting this back to Dallas. We're not even giving them another little bit of momentum. Like, no, we're ending this right now, right here. And that's what they came out and did. And now they're going on to the NBA Finals for the first time since winning it back in 2011. This is their third ever NBA Finals appearance. And just great stuff in the Mavericks. I mean, they have turned this team around. Obviously, there's been so many things said about the retooling and reshaping of this team. Going out and getting Kyrie last season, drafting Derek Lively, taking now, last year, remember last year where they were in the fight for the last playing spot, and instead of going for it, they tanked and sat out to avoid the plan. And now that pick they ended up getting Derek Lively with. So that pick now looks, really, really good. And then, of course, the trade deadline, in the free agency, they signed Derrick Jones Jr. on a low end deal, who he's probably going to get paid this offseason. And then bringing in PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford were the biggest things at the trade deadline. Getting two athletic guys that can defend, that fit the scheme of Luka and Kyrie. They bought into the defensive end, and now they're in the NBA Finals. They have been amazing. Those guys have been great. Taking out the Clippers in the first round in 6 games, a star-studded Clippers team that had beat you a couple times before in the first round. You took them out. Then you take out the number 1 seed OKC Thunder in the second round, and then you take out the number 1 defense and the team that beat the reigning champs in the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team that had seen all the momentum in the world, came out and you beat them. So they just been absolutely amazing. And now they're in the NBA Finals. They win the Western Conference. Luka wins Conference Finals MVP. He averaged 32, 9, and 8 with 2 steals in this series on 47, 43, 84 shooting. Just amazing stuff. Kyrie in this series averaged 27 and 4, where before previewing this series, I was saying Luka and Kyrie are gonna have to have some games where they look like Luka and Kyrie, and basically 4 of the 5 games they did, and the one game they didn't, they lost. So Luka Kyrie were Luka and Kyrie, and then PJ Washington, 12-6 in the series. Even though he didn't have an amazing shooting series, he only shot 37% from the field and 25% from three. He played amazing defense with Anthony Towns. Daniel Gafford averaging 10-8 or 10-6 with over 2.5 blocks. Derek Lively was amazing in the series, averaging 9, 7, 2, and 1.5 blocks, and shot 100% from the field. He was 16 for 16 from the field in this series. Ridiculous stuff. And that was also a big thing previewing this series as well. Was I didn't know I picked Minnesota to win in 7 because I didn't know how much the Dallas big men, Gafford and Lively, were going to be able to dominate like they did in the first 2 rounds, and they were amazing. They dominated again. So doing their thing. Derrick Jones Jr. had a really good series, shot 46% from three. He averaged 7 points in this series. Jaden Hardy was a big thing in the series. He got inserted randomly in like a game 5 of the Western Conference second round, and has been great since. He's averaging 7 points on 53% shooting, 60% from three, and it's only 10 minutes per game. He's been doing his thing. They got Maxi Kleba back. Josh Green has been providing energy. He shot 44% from three in this series. Just amazing. The Mavericks were amazing. Mavericks were amazing in this series. They came out, did their thing. They're going to the conference finals. And for Minnesota, I'm gonna make a full looking video about the Timberwolves. And I'm probably coming out tomorrow, where I talk about this season, talk about the future of this Minnesota Timberwolves team. But early thoughts, they don't have anything really to hang their heads about. Obviously, it was disappointing the way they ended in a 4-1 series. Not the way they expected to end it, especially looking at the first 2 rounds, how dominant they were. But I mean, amazing season from them. You can make an argument. This is probably the best Timberwolves team they've ever had. This is the best season Timberwolves have ever had. You can make an argument for that. Anthony Edwards showed out in the playoffs. Anthony Towns didn't have a great conference final series, but he had his good moments. Nas Reed was honestly, you can make an argument. Nas Reed was their second best player in this series. He was great. Mike Conley did his thing. Jaden McDaniels had some up and down moments. Rudy Gobert was all right. Kyle Anderson provided a lot in the series. 14 to Alexander Walker didn't have a great series. Shot 18% from three and averaged 3 points, but he had an amazing kind of rejuvenating season overall. And this Timberwolves team, Anthony Edwards came out in the postgame and said, "We'll be back for sure." And I believe that. I think they could be in a similar position next season. They have the team, another year of experience, maybe for agency going to get another little piece off the bench, another guy that could score here and there. I think this team could be back next season. I really do. I really do believe this team could be back next season. Of course, that's easier said than done, but I genuinely believe they could be in a very similar position next season. I genuinely do believe that. But credit to the Dallas Mavericks. They're making it to the NBA Finals. Luka is making his first Finals appearance at 25 years old. And I went on a little deep dive yesterday during the game because they were up by 31, and I was like, they're winning. Comparing Luka to Jordan and LeBron's at this age, at 25 years old. I went down a little rabbit hole right there. Even compared him to Kobe a little bit, as well, looking at like numbers and stuff. And Luka already has more playoff success than Jordan, and he has more playoff success than Jordan at this age. Jordan has the stats over him. Jordan has the accolades because Jordan at this point already won an MVP at the age of. I'm saying at the age of 25. All these guys, by the way, Jordan already had a MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year, and he had the stats. But Luka has the playoff experience or the playoff success. Jordan at this point at 25, Jordan had one conference finals appearance. Luka already has two and a finals appearance now. And then compared to LeBron, LeBron already had two MVPs. So LeBron had the accolades. The stats are very, very similar. I think LeBron averaged like 27, 7, and 6, and Luka's at like 28, and 8. The stats are very like close. And Luka and LeBron at 25 had two conference finals appearance and NBA finals appearance where they lost to the Spurs. Luka at 25, two conference finals appearance and a finals appearance now. But if Luka comes out and the Mavericks win this series, Luka will have the playoff success over LeBron already at this point because he would already have a championship. Where LeBron and Jordan both won their first championship at 27. Luka has the potential to win his first championship at 25, 2 years earlier. And then Kobe, it's so interesting to compare them to Kobe because Kobe has Shaq, and LeBron, Jordan, Luka never had a Shaq type player, and Kobe wasn't the number one guy from the jump. But comparing to Kobe, both had similar awards. Kobe didn't have an MVP. He had a couple All Stars, a couple All NBAs. Luka has a couple All Stars, a couple All NBAs. So the accolades are really the same. Luka's got the numbers just because, again, Luka was the number one option the entirety of the time, and Kobe was behind Shaq, so Kobe only averaged like 21 at this point. Luka's averaging 28 and 8. Playoff success, of course, Kobe has it because Kobe has 3 championships. I think Kobe at this point at 25 had like, I think he had like 5 conference finals appearances, 4 finals appearances, and 3 rings already. Then, of course, Luka doesn't have that success. He has 2 conference finals appearances, a finals appearance, but Kobe wasn't the finals MVP in those finals series. So Luka getting a finals MVP would be big, even though, again, Kobe's going to have the playoff success because he came into a great situation that is rare. But it's just interesting to compare those guys, compare Luka to those guys and see what kind of track he's on, you know? And it's just fun. It's just fun to see that at 25, Luka's already got more playoff success than Jordan and potentially LeBron. If Luka can win this ring this year, he would already have more playoff success than both those guys, and he'd already have his first ring 2 years before those guys won their first ones. So it's interesting. And if he wins MVP potentially next year and stuff, he'll be on the same kind of track way as those guys. It's just very interesting to see, that Luka's already has a 25, but now we get a finals matchup with the Celtics. Kyrie going up against his former team in Boston. Kristaps going up against Dallas. Just a lot of headlines, a lot of storylines in this series, man. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna do a full finals preview when we get there. It'll probably be next week, right before, because now we have basically a week of no basketball until the finals start, which sucks, but hey, that's what you get when you end your series early. Boston and Dallas. But yeah, credits to the Mavericks. They're going to be in the finals. Very excited for that. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.